All right, so we just finished the last one. We're going to keep going on this HannaLynnArt project. This is from Whimsy Girls Christmas. It is a PDF download. You can get the entire coloring book for $6.95, and it's at hannah.art.com/store/coloring_books.html. That will also be down in the comments. So when I start doing hair, actually I want to do the eyes too. I'm looking at these colors real quick. I think I'm going to do her eyes in 79 and 44. So let's pick the 79 first. And then 44 is my darkest. So when I do eyes, I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing. Cover it, but don't get it all the way covered. You want to have some white showing so that there is tooth in there for the paper to be able to grab up that second color. So there's the first color. Then I'm going to grab my dark. Now, these eyelashes are over the top of this. Okay? So the dark is going to actually be across the top of the eye. That's where the shadow is. And I know that looks kind of odd to you, but it's going to be okay in the end. All right, same thing over here. Darkest all the way across, and then back with the soft circles right underneath. Go ahead and get your darkest right up next to it. Okay. Then come back with that first brown that we used. And now we're going to blend and cover the entire eye. This is where you can go ahead now and just cover all that white up. Okay, just cover it all up. And now she's got some pretty eyes. I didn't want to do just your standard dark brown eye. I wanted to leave a little bit of gold in there. To me, it just gives it that richness. Okay, let's go ahead now and do the hair. When I'm doing hair, I always start with my darkest. That's on the bottom, and I work my way up. So if you're in the basement, and I'm going to say that this is hair that you see from around the back of the neck. Okay? So if you're in the basement and you're coming upstairs, it's going to be darkest right in there. And then up close to here, because it might be overshadowed from her headpiece. Okay, get all these little areas. And then I'm going to put in just a little bit here and there. I will make sure that I'm going the same direction that the hair is flowing. Okay, so if she had a big curl here, I would be coloring in that direction. All right, now I'm done with that color. I'm going to go to the next one. Same thing, come in. I want this to be a little bit streaky. Very few people have a solid color all through their hair. They usually have a little bit of different color somewhere. Okay, and I'm just working my way down. And you can do this with just 2 or 3 colors. It's not a big deal. I just like adding more because it gives more dimension to what we're doing. It gives more depth. And I'm going to turn So I can go through here and go the right direction. See how we're already getting several layers. I was hoping that cough was almost gone. Maybe not. Okay, can you see how we're already getting several different colors in the hair? So just keep going. If she's blonde to you, you're going to start with a brown, then come up to yellow ochre, and then come up to yellow. All right. If you don't know what yellow ochre is, it's a brownish yellow. You need to just go to Google and tell it you want to see images of yellow ochre. And that color, when you're working with yellow, is your friend, because you cannot color with a lot of brown on yellow. But this yellow ochre has it already mixed in. So it just really takes some of the guesswork out. And now I'm going to my lightest color. If you missed our first two videos, you need to just put this in a file somewhere, however you save videos, and go back and find them and watch them first so that you can catch up to where we're at. Okay, now I am taking this lightest color and blending everything. All right. I could put a gray streak in there somewhere. She's had a baby now. I'm kidding. I'm not going to. There we go. All right. So again, there's the colors. If you need to pause and write them down. I'm finished with that. Now with the eyes, I did end up going with 79. And this should be 44. Yep, and 44. I did that for the eyes. Okay, let's go ahead and do her lips. I do want her to have a little bit of a red lip. I do not want her to look like a hooker. There is a difference, folks. So what I may even do is go with a pink lip, that number 30. And then I'm going to come over and get this light pink that we used before, 71. So 71 and 30, and this is her mouth. Now, I will tell you I am working on a conversion chart that will tell you which Marco Raffines are the same as which Marco Renoirs, which are the same as which Polychromos, and which is the same as your Faber-Castell Prismacolors. It's just taking me a while to go through because I'm literally taking all my swatches and matching up to see which color is best. And then I may even go back through and put what is second best for the ones that I don't have a first best on. Okay, so we took this. Now, lips are going to be lighter in the very middle. All right? The very middle. Just go straight up and down with your back and forth motion. Then take your darker shade, pull it in a little. Same thing here, pull it in a little. Then I'm going to take the lighter one and blend. I come in with the darker one, and I'm going to come across that bottom. Back to the light one, and just do one big blend with all that. It just gave her some nice little lips. Okay, see the smoothness where we rubbed before with the purple? See, we did not do that with the brown yet. So I'm going to take my clean tissue, and I'm going to do that rub. Rubbing the direction that we colored. See, and the extras right there, but yet it's still covered nicely there. And that's smooth now. It's almost smooth down here. I'm just going to do just a little, and then I'm going to find a clean spot for the other side. Okay. Again, there's not as much pencil layered on that as there is in the purple, so there was not as much to smooth out. Now, I want to put baby Jesus in blue. I know swaddling clothes are white. Should we just go ahead and do it in white? But see, I'm already going to have the lamb in white, and the goat may be in white, so yeah, I'm going to do the blue. If you want to do white, that's fine. I'm doing blue. Up to you. And I'm going to do number 15, and let's see, do I want to do those two or these two? Because I don't really like that one for it. I'm thinking those two. So 15 and 77. So 77 and 15. And I will know that this is the clothing or the rag. Whoops, 77, not 17. 77 and 15. Because nothing else on here is going to be blue. When you want something to be a focal point, don't do anything else on the page in that same color. All right? So now looking at these, can you tell which is lighter or darker by looking at the barrels? Not too much. The ends, I know this one's lighter. That's a lot of the reason why we write the numbers down too, because then we can look at it, at the numbers, and see the real color. Now I'm going to get this color in the area that we know is solid, which is right there. And we know that this area is solid, but that's all we know, because there's lines through here, there's wrapping here, this is rounded over the edge, so there's going to be a lot with this other blue. We may even have to come back in and get another blue in a little bit. We're going to see how much of this we can get done before time runs out. I try to only do 30-minute videos. Okay. There. This is hopefully going to make it look like it's rounded, like when we did the ornaments on that page. Do you remember? We did my ornaments page that I sell on Etsy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, feel free to go back and watch it. Alright, and then I'm just blending out lightly. Then see the V? When there's a V, it's usually darker inside that V. All those V's should be a little bit darker in there. That's where there's overlap, and then bring it out softer. And then this is wrapped just like that was. We want it look wrapped around, so we're going to go a little darker in there, and then fade it out lighter, darker and then fade it lighter. And that's actually going to be true down the whole side. And then here's that fold over, that V. Here's a V. This whole thing's going to be a little darker. It's shadowed by her arm. And then we're going to have it get lighter as we come to the middle. Just lighter and lighter. Okay, over here, this is actually tucked under this, so we'll go under that. And then lighter there, so it looks like it's rounded. Shadows. Shadow from her arm. Okay, wrapped. So that gets a bit of a shadow. A V. So see, there was a lot of dark in there, but that's why we put in a little bit of specific light first. Her hand is casting a shadow. See the shadow in the paper? Her hand is casting a little bit of a shadow. So let's finish going around her hand. We will keep this very light and not very far out at all. And here's a V. I'm going to do it lightly. Okay, back to our first original lightest blue. We're only working with 2 colors this time. Now we can go ahead and get in there and blend everything together. Let's just blend all these blues. All these, both of these blues. And try to get the white gone out of that paper. Keep working at it. You can do it. You may have to color in circles a little more than I am if you're not using these pencils. The wax-based and oil-based pencils do react differently, and the amount of pressure and really just how much you've practiced with them. You'll get to know your pencils as you go. Try to stay within the little areas. Now, I did this all at once because a lot of this was shaded. Okay, that's why you saw me just go with that all at once. But like in here, keep in your little areas. You don't want to be dragging that darker blue in any way where it doesn't belong. Now you can look at it. Excuse me, and if you don't see dark enough blues, come back in and darken some of those up. You should be able to squint your eyes and see some darks and lights. And I cannot, so I'm coming in here and I'm really adding some color. Really adding some darker in here. And I've got to blend it out a little. And I'm going to blend it out by going just a little bit lighter next to that. And then even lighter next to that. Alright, so now I've got some darks in here. Now I can just kind of blend those a little bit. Now see how I've got darks and lights? That's what I was after. So I'm going the same direction. Go over it enough times, that line should blend out if you've got good pencils. If your pencils are not as good, okay, if you're not using any of the brands that I've named, that doesn't mean you don't have a good pencil. It just means those are the ones I own, specific. Okay? But if you're not using a good name brand, let's let that finish clicking through. If you're not using a name brand, then it may be that what you need to do is each one of your layers needs to be a little bit lighter than the layer before. Okay? Let's find a clean spot, because I do have some of that. Can you see it right there? See all those lines? Okay, now I'm going to go right through here, and then I'm going to go up and down on this, and then I'm going to do all this. And you're just going to have to watch the direction my hand's going, because there's no way I can have my hand out of the way to show you. What I was doing is I did this, and then went on this area, and then down through here. All right, and see now all that scribbly part's gone. There we go, there it is. And now you have just the flat shine. All right. Her face is done. Oh, right in here. So I'm thinking I'm going to go back to those two purples, but maybe what I'll do is just one of them and just do this lightly. I'll do it darker here because it's underneath, but then I'm going to do it lighter through here. This line is her hair that's coming down. All right, so don't worry about that. Go a little darker here, but then go lighter here. So you can make your colors lighter. This is that same purple. I'm just using it lighter. Then here I'm going to go in and do it darker. And right there darker. But this swag area I'm doing lighter. Okay. That way I just wasn't introducing another color. And I've got my finger in here, and I'm just going to go around that. Okay, so that's that. All right, I'm going to finish cleaning up a little bit of that purple. In fact, I think I need my battery operated eraser for this. So hang on, I'll be right back.